This Q&A video is brought to you by J-Hap Gear. Life's a crusade. Dress appropriately.
Oh, we don't have an optic. You know.
Oh, we don't have an optic. This is a problem. Yeah. Hold on, wait.
Do you have any? Oh, on the grenade launcher. Did you take the? No, you didn't take the EOTech off.
Give me the EOTech. Give me the EOTech!
I knew that'd be a good idea. You're welcome.
Sorry, we're having slight technical difficulties with the grenade launcher over there.
Yeah. Or this isn't.
Get the boomstick, Daniel.
What?
Faster, Daniel. Press the button and then lever. The button, I swear it's been working, idiots. Daniel, the button and then the lever.
What button? Oh, I see a button. There we go. See, that's what I couldn't figure out earlier.
This is what you make me want to do.
Oh,
it's not loading, guys, don't worry. You got it? We've been doing this for 44 seconds, Daniel. Daniel! What are you doing?
It's complicated technology.
It's not complicated technology.
It is absolutely.
So easy a caveman can do it. Look, like that. And then you do that. There you go. Well,
fine, so easy a caveman can do it.
Get over here. Alright.
These make no sense.
These make no sense, bro.
That's all.
No sense here, Holmes.
No sense,
no sense, Holmes. Alright, welcome to Q&A Part 11. This is the video series where you, the viewers, ask the questions in the comment section down below. And we pick off our ones we like and we throw them in our question ammo box. Okay. Which is currently behind the Knight's Armor and Stone LMG.
Because that's awesome.
Because it's awesome.
And so is the Clone Trooper.
That was his idea.
Yeah, that was my idea.
Anyway, so first question. Let's see if I can open it up. Caleb Bentley asks, what is the chest rig you use plus the other pouches put on it? Well, we have both two chest rigs, so we'll go over each one. Alright, the chest rig I use is a Condor MOPC, which stands for Modular Operator Plate Carrier, if I think that's about right. Really good plate carrier, it's pretty lightweight, very modular. It's a good starter vest. For the longest, plate carrier, I'm sorry. I used vests, like little mesh vests for the longest period of time. And I really liked those, and then I started to move more into plate carriers because I just like the style of those more. And the modular operator plate carrier was one of the ones that was suggested for beginners and newbies. So I was like, yeah, I'll put it on. And it's actually a really good vest. I'd even recommend it for more advanced people. It's just a really nice vest. And for pouches I have M4 mag pouches, just basic Condor M4 mag pouches. And I have on my left side, on my right side, on my right side I have two double stack M4 mag pouches which accommodate my two Thunderbeat grenades, and I find those actually work really good for holding Thunderbeat grenades or any grenades of the sort, smoke grenades. Double stack M4 mag pouches hold grenades very well. And then I wear a backpack, another Condor medium assault backpack on my back, and I think that's about it for pouches. Yep.
Okay, well, my plate carrier,
it's heavy.
It's heavy plate carrier. And this is the reason why. Don't quote me on this, but what I believe it to be, and I have to look at it again, but it's a marine-style plate carrier. It is, I believe it's a Cirrus, C-I-R-A-S.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
C.I. etc.
Yeah.
So it stands for something, and I don't know what it stands for. But if you were to look at a marine setup, loadout and everything else, it's the heavier duty plate carrier with a ton of magazine pouches on it and a ton of pouches, and it covers basically the full chest and around and everything. On that plate carrier I have an admin pouch, I have two magazine pouches. One, in this next game I'm going to be carrying a magazine in this pouch, and I have a kill rag in this one, a yellow kill rag that I also use to clean stuff, etc. I have 5 double stack magazine pouches, M4 magazine pouches, and then I have a clear panel on my left side actually, that right here on my left side of lower stomach, and that I have tools on. I have a small knife, I have a Sharpie, a pair of pliers, and some electric tape, and I do use those a lot. Usually I would carry those in just a standard miscellaneous tools pouch, a utility pouch, but I figured I may as well put it on my kit to save space right here, and then I could put something on my battle belt just to distribute the weight because it's very heavy. It's a very cumbersome plate carrier setup, and so yeah, that's what I wear.
It's good stuff.
And it's an olive drab. Both of ours are an olive drab.
Yep. Olive drab.
Drab.
People aren't going to know what you're talking about.
I've never pronounced things correctly. I'm not going to start now.
Alright, next question.
Okay. Just for reference, we have recorded this video 3 times now, but we do it for you guys. Even with the technical issues we have.
We went through the full question and answer thing, so we've probably read these questions like a couple times when we're finished.
Well, this is 45 minutes worth of the thing. But hey, we do it for you guys.
Alright, run it again, Daniel.
Okay. How do you say that?
Avery Dale! Avery Dale!
I screw this up every time. I keep thinking your name is
you won't,
Avery.
and you will never see this, but I will, because I've gone through it 3 times. He's pronounced this wrong every time. Avery Dale. Dang it, Daniel.
I pronounce things wrong. I'm not going to
read the question.
Avery Dale asks us, how do you guys feel about grenade launchers? Also, it's almost 1 a.m.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about grenade launchers?
How do I feel about grenade launchers? I love grenade launchers.
We do.
For the longest time, grenade launchers were using the concept of you're gonna almost
it doesn't happen.
It's gonna fall off the table one of these days. Okay, so for the longest time, grenade launchers worked on the concept of you have a moss cart shell, aka the 40mm grenade shell. You'd feed BBs into the shell and
it would have a shotgun
gas,
type effect.
and it would have a shotgun type effect.
Just random views.
Recently, the Russians.
The Ruskies.
The Russians.
They invented this new type of thing as rocket-propelled grenades. Shoots out of airsoft grenade launcher like a real thing and blows up.
Yeah, so they made a projectile grenade to translate, and it blows up on impact. And they have different warheads too. It's awesome. They have one that explodes on impact. They have a timed one. They have
grenades.
Smoke. They have chalk. Anything for different applications.
Cool stuff. I think
awesome.
it's a paint one. I mean,
and they might even have a paint. It works.
Paintball.
Works in the concept. If you've ever seen like a shotgun shell, it has like the metal base and then the plastic tube. You basically put the warhead into the shotgun shell kind of like thing. It screws in there.
Rifled, and so
it kind of screws in there once. It's rifled, so it spins when it comes out. And these are called tagging grenades, by the way, Taggin. And you may sound, ooh, it explodes and impact, it's dank. Now, they've been tested on people, like they've been shot directly at people, and they're perfectly fine. The only thing that happens is, like, if it hits you on the skin,
it might singe your hair a little.
Like, singe a few hairs off, but other than that, it does absolutely nothing.
They're not you gotta be careful with them.
You gotta be careful with them. Always,
as with any airsoft.
If you plan to use these, always use eye protection.
At all times.
Anything you do in airsoft, you should be using eye protection.
Yeah.
Anything.
These are not necessarily intended to be shot at people. They're supposed to be used
to like take
in
out
a
bunkers,
scenario type event. Go and use a 10-foot radius or like 5 meter for European airsofters. Basically any kind of scenario that indirectly involves the players. It's not supposed to be shotgunning people in the face with these. That's just stupid. That's going to get you kicked out.
However,
more importantly, it might injure someone.
Worst case scenario, though, if it does happen, it wouldn't do anything to. But obviously, like you said, if anything's misused incorrectly, you can hurt people. And use airsoft guns incorrectly.
Just use your common sense.
Use common sense.
And this is something I would suggest for use in field play.
This isn't really a CQB thing.
Unless it's for a RWMilSim event, I would suggest you just stick with the field because CQB is for up close.
The best application I see this for is like for the chalk ones. If you have like a vehicles at your field, the chalk ones they mark
taking out tanks.
Taking out tanks, even the explosive ones, taking out bunkers. If you like, you have a hut or something someone's in, just boom, it explodes on the back wall, room's dead. All right, so I think we move on to the next question. Tagging grenades, by the way, we're going to be getting some in the future, so
look forward to those. Timmy B asks, what inspired you guys to start doing this stuff, and how do I also do this with you guys?
Alright, how did we get started? Well, let's see. I got started because a couple friends of mine were like, hey dude, there's this cool sport where you have guns and you can shoot each other with them. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. So we started I just went out to Walmart one day, picked up some spring pistols and a spring shotgun. We just played around the backyard, had an absolute blast with it. And then ultimately from there, it just kind of evolved into I figured out, hey, there's an actual sport behind this. You can play at fields, and then kind of just went from there. That's how I kind of got started on it. Daniel?
With me, it was pretty much the same thing. Back when I was maybe 13 or so, my buddy Joe called me up, and he's like, hey, there's these things called airsoft guns. They use plastic BBs. We can shoot each other and not kill each other. So let's do it. So I went out to Walmart and bought a plastic airsoft shotgun, and the rest is history. I ended up upgrading my gear and stuff, getting into more of these events when I was introduced to RWM, formerly ODA, and so that's how it's been going. He also asked how he could do it.
Yep. If you were in Florida, you are in luck because we are a Florida-based airsoft team. We primarily play at DV8, which is our pretty much local field. It's the kind of the closest one to us. However, we play other fields too. We play at Mudgrunt and Combat City, primarily DV8 though. However, if you're interested in playing with us and want to know when we're going or how we're going to be, or who all is going and when we are going, we announce all of our stuff on our social media, mainly Instagram, which I will put in the description. I'll put all of our info for our Instagram pages, his, mine, the teams, in the description down below. And we announce the games that we go to on our social media, Instagram, and others too. We have Facebook, but we're currently
so just leave us a comment if you have any questions or anything, and we'll try to answer everything.
Yep.
We'll give you updates.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, we announce our uploads on there too, so if you want to stay up to date with any uploads, you can either subscribe to the channel or just, check us out on Instagram.
And also, if you're not local to Florida, don't worry, because there are many airsoft and MilSim scenarios and events all over the United States and even the world. So just Google search or YouTube or anything, and you can find a local field.
Local field near you. Go out.
Depending on the event, really all you need is an airsoft gun and eye protection.
Yep. That's basically all you need.
Basics.
I mean, I would have like a BDU and maybe a
just
vest
depends, and you'll get into it. You'll figure it out.
Yep.
But yeah.
Exactly.
And that's about how it works.
Yep. Exactly. Now I am actually going to get up right now and check the camera because it is canceled on me 3 times. So we're gonna go ahead and use the power of editing magic here to just do a little jump cut. It's been still working. Okay, so the camera has not shut off on us yet, so I'm very happy for that.
Amazing.
Yep. Because
it happens.
It's the 3rd time we're doing it. We've been doing this for about. We've run this one for 2 hours now.
1:04 a.m.
This is supposed to be a 16-minute to 18-minute Q&A video, and it feels like it's been going on for like an hour.
Which the reality has.
Yeah. Anyway, my turn. Let's see what we have now. We have a question from Xavier Giles or Xavier Gills. I like Xavier. I'm going to assume it's Xavier because I think of the X-Men. Xavier. Professor Xavier.
Professor Xavier.
What gun is your guys' favorite to use as a primary and secondary? Now, for me personally, I used to love the SCAR platform because it's a SCAR. But however, more recently, I've been going over to the dark side and falling in love with kind of like the M4 platform.
Superior. M4s are superior.
I don't think they're no.
Yes, they are.
They're better in some ways and not as good in others. The SCAR in the real steel world has more perks in certain areas than the AR-15 does, but the AR-15 is so customizable. Same goes for airsoft M4s, if you will. They're so customizable. Rail systems, bodies, stocks, grips, anything you want to throw on there, anything you can envision realistically, you can throw on an AR-15. And that's what I love about just guns and stuff. You can build them, and that's what I love about the M4 platform.
Well, see,
you build it.
This is how I'm going to nerd out and totally give an example of how this relates. Is in airsoft, the AR or M4 platform compared to the SCAR platform is like Legos and Mega Bloks. I'm sure you can understand this for anyone who loves Legos like I have because I never grew up.
That's a deep.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
Deep.
The Legos, they're the proven one. Everybody loves them. That's
really
the M4s.
I think the question.
We're going to go down the road.
The question.
SCARs are Mega Bloks. They kind of look cool, and they got some cool sets. But sometimes the parts don't work very well. Sometimes they break down, and Legos are better. End of story.
SCAR's proven to be a little more reliable than the AR-15.
Legos are better.
I'm going to say. Anyway, so my favorite secondary would have to be. I've been experimenting a lot with the M9. I like the M1911 platform. I've tried a couple different brands, KWA, Elite Force, etc., etc. Recently, I found the Elite Force 1911, and that is now my current primary sidearm. Is the Elite Force M1911, and that's just an awesome pistol. It's accurate, reliable, runs on CO2, so it works fantastically.
I've used myself
all weather, and it's just an awesome pistol overall.
I really like it. I'm actually planning on purchasing one later on. You'll probably see me using it. Basically, with all CO2 pistols, I wouldn't say all, but in general, in the general spectrum,
very reliable.
They're very reliable. They're sturdy. They're sturdy. They're like tanks.
Yeah.
They're the tank of pistols. They last forever.
They do.
I have one of my first airsoft pistols, or I think it's my second airsoft pistol. My first was a Springer. My second is an Umarex H&K USP that I got from Walmart for $40, and I still use it. I've put at least 4,000 rounds through it and used it in MilSim events even. It's just so reliable and sturdy, and the only thing that's wrong with it now, just recently the magazine started leaking, but that's after 2 to 3 years of use, maybe even longer than that. And I mean, all I gotta do is replace the magazine, then I can use it again. So that just basically gives you an example. Even a low budget, very low budget CO2 pistols can still perform amazingly. The same cannot be said for green gas.
Green gas, yeah, I think green gas, you really get what you pay for.
Mm-hmm. It's just kind of like an AEG, and not even with AEG, sometimes you can get a cheaper AEG. And
there's exceptions to the rule with everything. WE is, I've heard really good things about WE, and I've heard really bad things about WE, so I feel like they're hit or miss. Yeah. So you can either get so I think people have had really good experiences with them, have really bad experiences. I've never personally owned a WE pistol. Nick owned one for a while, and it worked amazing for like a couple months, and then it broke, and it hasn't worked since. So I don't know. I've heard people have amazing luck with them. Some people don't. So, but then again, they're a little more at lower end of the totem pole.
And that's just WE. It depends.
And there's other brands too. So really, I think the generalized rule is you get what you pay for, and that's the generalized rule for airsoft in general. Is you get what you pay for. Obviously, there are exceptions to the rule. You can get cheaper stuff for good, but generally,
sometimes green gas can do better for certain roles, like with the submachine guns, the Rafficas, the Vectors.
This is not a Raffica. Tech terms of M93R. I'm going to get a lot of comments saying it's an M93R. It's not Call of Duty.
Okay, well, I prefer to say Raffica because it sounds cool. Even though I'm a gunny, so I do acknowledge that it's an M93R. But hey, and then the Vector submachine gun, the Mac 11. All of those are submachine guns that I don't really think could be better done as a CO2 version. Yeah. Just because the way green gas works, it's kind of it's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Both have advantages depending on The CO2 cartridges are, I think, a little harder to obtain in foreign countries like Europe.
They're more depends on they're more expensive than than propane, but then green gas kind of is.
Green gas is pretty expensive, but propane's it's like there's different pros and cons.
And then also the heat, the temperature of where you're playing at.
It does take an effect. Yeah. CO2 tends to.
You can use CO2 better anywhere, cold, heat, whatever.
Green gas doesn't like the cold.
Also, green gas guns tend to jam a lot. Especially when they get dirty.
Yeah, it depends though. It really depends on the brand.
Yeah, you can't really get green gas dirty though. CO2 pistols, you can run up to the.
The thing with CO2 pistols is they have a lot. They just don't care. Like,
they have simpler internals. In general.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on. I think it's my turn or your turn.
I think it's my turn.
All right, go for it.
Let's see, Task Force Airsoft asks, does Cole have swag?
He used to have swag when he was with RWM.
But now he doesn't.
I'm just kidding. Nah. Yeah, as for those of you that don't know, Cole has moved on to a team called Task Force Airsoft, I think is the name, Task Force Airsoft Florida.
And now he has no swag.
No,
we miss him though.
We miss Cole.
But hey, he moved on, so.
Yep. And answer the question, no, Cole, you don't have swag anymore.
We only have swag.
Just teasing. Alright, my turn. Let's see if I can find out.
Us and Jet. Jet has swag.
Swag. Let's see if I can find any more. This is a long one. Okay. Nassim Rodriguez. Alright, my porn impression.
We just totally insult everyone.
Yeah, I do that quite frequently. Have you ever thought about doing an infected game of Airsoft? If not, what would you do? Are you familiar with the infected game type? From Modern Warfare 3? I used to play Modern Warfare 3 a lot.
Yeah, I'm familiar with this, and this is actually a question that we have not answered yet in the hours that we've been recording. So this is
a new one. This is
a cool one. I think that would be a very good gameplay. Yep. It's something that most people haven't done before. Kind of reminds me of the zombie games.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Matt?
I think it'd have to be a little modified to work effectively. I think it would be better with. You'd obviously have to restrict ammo because unlike a video game, you have like a lot more perception. It's not like you can sneak up on someone as the infected that easily. If you just had like dual-wielded FMG9 and say, you'll Mario 3 guys will get the reference. Anyway, you will. I think restrictions as to pistols only or limited rounds and maybe
it's basically up to the discernment of whoever's setting the scenario.
I think if you just had a whole bunch of guys running around with M4s with like full auto capabilities,
it would be kind of no contest.
It would just be like literally the infected guy would just be able to see from a mile away, dead.
I mean, unless there was numbers, that would be cool.
And the thing is,
there's no close quarters and there was lots of numbers.
And
there's
no random respawn for the infected either. Like you can't just poof appear behind a wall and sneak up behind him. Like you would know he's dead over there, so he's going to go back there, or he can go. So there'd have to be applied rules, but I think it would work. Actually, in theory, I think it would work out very well.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Yep. All right, let's see. I think we have time for one more.
Yeah, we have one more question here, and you can answer this.
Sure. Got it. All right. There it is. Last question, kind of a short one. Ooh. Are all battery plugs the same? From Dog Manatee.
Dog Manatee. Is it manatee or is it dog?
Is it both? Is it both? I think it is both because it's
dog manatee.
It's a dog.
We should flash a picture of a dog manatee.
We don't have a picture of a dog.
Well, we can Photoshop.
Oh my god, I don't know how to Photoshop. Anyway,
would it be a dog?
Different connection types. There are two main different connection types in airsoft. The two most common you will see are the Tamiya and the Dean's connectors. Both come in small and large type, but that's kind of depending on the battery size, and it's just basically there's two types. You have your Tamiya connectors, which work on the principle of, well, first I'll tell you about a little knowledge about electricity. Yeah. Electricity from a battery works on the concept you have electricity. Here's your power source. Yeah. Ideally, the best way to transfer the electricity to the motor for an AEG
is a straight connection.
Is a straight connection wire. However, seeing as you need to take your batteries off to charge them and do stuff, you have to have a connector. This connector will apply resistance to the wiring.
Yeah, resistance is the enemy. Is the enemy of the. In simple man's terms, for electricity to flow through a connection.
Because basically, resistance is kind of, it acts like a valve. It's like, here's your energy flow, and it either clamps it off a little bit,
or lets it flow more freely.
Yeah.
And so, the difference between Tamiya and Dean's connectors...
Tamiya connectors basically work on the concept, you have a little plastic box that the wires go in, then you have your other box. You connect the box and the wires pretty much touch like this. Now the problem with this is, they might not line up perfectly well, they might go a little crooked, or they'll be a little off-center, they might not even touch correctly. You know, there's...
Which could all be a manufacturer issue, or it could be set up
whatever,
something
there's
like that.
multiple factors that
could cause problems with it, and usually it's an easy fix, but still.
Dean's connectors, however, work on the concept of you solder the wire directly to the connector on both sides, and then the connectors then are held together. The plates overlap each other kind of like that, and it gives them more contact area for more efficient electricity flow. So Dean's, in turn, are better than Tamiya connectors because they'll give you snappier trigger response, in some cases increased rate of fire, and better battery efficiency. Now, the problem with Dean's is most companies do, and when I say most, GMP does this with some of their rifles, they can include Dean's connectors on them already. However, if you're new to soldering or just don't really know how to connect, different connector types, you're going to need a professional or qualified technician to solder on a Dean's connector.
Or just practice, get a soldering kit.
That's what I did. I got a soldering. I practiced soldering with just like some just stray wires I found, and once you get the hang of it, you can go. You're good to go.
And it's not any different with airsoft than it would be soldering in any other purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
I learned how to solder just doing electrical stuff.
It's not that bad.
It's not really hard. You just gotta learn how.
You just have to make sure you follow the safety precautions, do it in a safe area, and take all the safe steps. And it's actually not that hard to do.
Yeah, it really isn't.
All right, so that'll wrap it up for our question portion for the Q&A video. It's now time to move on to the session shout out, which comes to us from.
And today we will be shouting out Elena Ella. She is a loyal subscriber and follower of our Instagram and YouTube pages. She's been watching our videos for a long time, and she's from South Korea. We have followers and subscribers in Asia. Not only Asia, we have them
Australia too. Oh, the demographics. We have some in Australia too, which is sick.
Which is pretty amazing. So thank you guys and gals. That's really cool.
Yeah. So, as always, thanks for watching, and be sure to leave your questions for future Q&A videos in the comment section down below, and if you're lucky enough, who knows, you might just see your question aired on the next session. So, see you next time.
See y'all.